Hey guys, it's Tyler543 here with my final mock draft for the 2022 NFL Draft. This is a predictive mock draft, not what I would do, but what I think will happen. Also, if you have enjoyed my content over the last few months, consider subscribing. It helps out a ton. And I have a lot of plans for videos post the draft, so stick around, and I hope you enjoy the video. With the first pick, the Jaguars select Aidan Hutchinson. In this mock draft, we have a new first overall pick, Aidan Hutchinson. Jaguars are in the spot where they can take a number of players, and it's really up to them on what they want. Taking a tackle in Evan Neal or Ikem Ekwonu, or going edge rusher with Hutchinson, Thibodeaux, or Travon Walker. The Jaguars' offensive line is serviceable, so the smart pick just might be getting a game-changing player on defense. At number 2, the Detroit Lions take quarterback Malik Willis. The Lions don't wait and take their future quarterback here at 2. This might be very rich for some of you guys, however, me and plenty of other people are super high on Malik Willis. Willis being the best quarterback in this draft class by a lot in my eyes. Jared Goff should not be in the long-term plans for the Lions, so taking the developmental quarterback and developing him behind Jared Goff for a year or two would be a great situation for Malik Willis. Willis has sky-high potential due to his insane arm, being able to make throws that no one else in this draft class can, as well as being a very physical runner while extending plays. At number 3, the Houston Texans select offensive lineman Ike Ekwonu. Ike Ekwonu is the best run blocker in this draft class. Not only that, one of the best run blockers in the last couple years. For the Texans, you could easily slide him into guard, making him one of the best in the league. Or you can slide him out to tackle. You know, he's going to be a phenomenal guard no matter what, so you could just leave him inside. Texans are not a great team, so building up their offensive line is a very smart move. At number 4, the New York Jets select edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeaux out of Oregon. Kayvon Thibodeaux has been falling down a ton of draft boards in the last month or so. Thibodeaux has incredible potential, so I can't see him falling out of the top 10. While Kayvon is a great athlete, he is a bit of a riskier pick than a guy like Aidan Hutchinson, who is a very safe prospect. Jets could use a superstar player coming off the edge because they do not and haven't had one in a while. If this pick works out for the Jets, they will have one of the better edge rushers in the NFL. At number 5, the New York Giants select tackle Evan Neal. Evan Neal, the guy who was my number 1 pick last mock draft, is available here at 5. The Giants could use a right tackle, so Evan Neal being available is an easy pick. Evan Neal is an athletic freak and is huge and strong and fast. The Giants have not given Daniel Jones a fair shot quite yet and have nodded that they will continue to help him in this draft by giving him O-line and more weapons. End of the day, they take a good tackle and a position of need. At number 6, the Carolina Panthers take Charles Cross. If Malik Willis does not follow the Panthers at 6, then they should take the best offensive tackle available. In this case, I believe that Charles Cross is the best one on the board. Charles Cross might not be an athletic freak like Evan Neal, or the best run blocker in the class like Ike Ekwonu. However, he is a very good pass blocker and overall just a solid tackle, who would guarantee the Panthers a long-term solution at a big position of need for them. If they don't get quarterback in this draft, then you have to think that they will try and get one next offseason, and no matter who it is, having a great left tackle is always necessary. With their second first-round pick, the New York Giants select Travon Walker at number 7. Travon Walker is an edge rusher who has shot up a lot of draft boards after absolutely killing his combine. Travon Walker has unlimited potential. However, again, similar to Kayvon, this is a lot more risky than a pick like Aidan Hutchinson. However, taking a guy as big and athletic as Travon Walker, it is worth the pick. Immediately, he is a very solid run defender and can even drop back into coverage every once in a while. Travon Walker offers a ton of potential to this New York Giants defense. At number 8, the Falcons select cornerback Sauce Gardner. Sauce Gardner is the best cornerback in this draft class, and the Falcons could use another corner or two. While AJ Terrell is an elite cornerback in the NFL, you need more than one cornerback on your team. Sauce is a super young prospect and has the perfect size for a cornerback at 6'2", along with his really long arms. He's an athletic, lanky cornerback who has the potential to be one of the best lockdown cornerbacks in the entire league. This very well could just be the best player available to a bad football team. Jermaine Johnson, the edge rusher, goes to the Seahawks at number 9. Another edge rusher, this time to the Seahawks. Now this is a pro-ready edge rusher, very different to Kayvon and Travon Walker being a big upside guys. Jermaine Johnson is just a really solid player who will make an immediate impact right away. Jermaine Johnson is easily one of the best run defenders in this entire class. The reason Travon Walker and Kayvon Thibodeaux went over him is because both of them are more athletic with higher potential. The Jets select the first wide receiver off the board, Garrett Wilson, at number 10. Garrett Wilson is the first wide receiver off the board. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons to Stephon Diggs. I think that's a good comparison. Garrett Wilson is a very speedy wideout who is also a strong route runner. I like the Jets receiving core a lot. You have Corey Davis to be your Z, Elijah Moore in the slot, and now Garrett Wilson to be your true X, your number 1 receiver. I think that that's a very solid receiving core for your young quarterback, Zach Wilson, and I think Garrett Wilson will help him find a lot of success. And you got that Wilson to Wilson combo too. Now back-to-back wide receivers. This time the Washington Commanders take Drake London at number 11. Drake London, a very fun wide receiver prospect. He's a very unique player compared to many of these other top wide receivers. If you're looking for a big target that can go up and high point the football anywhere on the field, Drake London is the guy for you. While compared to Jameson Williams and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave, Drake London doesn't fit their play styles. Washington went out and traded for Carson Wentz in the offseason, so getting him a huge weapon to complement the receiving core of Terry McLaurin, Dyami Brown, and Curtis Samuel very well. The Vikings take cornerback Derek Stingley Jr. at number 12. Derek Stingley, the high upside cornerback, goes to a very defensive back needy team in the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings have missed on a couple cornerbacks in the draft in the last few years, so Derek Stingley might be a little risky for a team that just needs a lockdown number 1 cornerback. However, as we all know, Derek Stingley was easily a top cornerback in college football just a few years ago. While he didn't live up to the hype in the last couple years, he has been dealing with some injuries, which kept him off the field. Cornerback is a super tough position to play, and once you have a great season, then you are always capable of repeating that. The upside of Derek Stingley certainly makes him a first-round talent. At number 13, the Houston Texans select interior defensive lineman Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is a huge guy. We all know this by now. We all know what an athletic freak he is. He's a huge and genuinely impossible for offensive linemen to move him around. Let's be honest, Texans are not a great team right now, but taking Jordan Davis to be a cornerstone piece on this defense is a really big jump to doing good things in Houston. The Ravens select defensive back Trent McDuffie at number 14. If you're not super familiar with Trent McDuffie, he is a defensive back that can literally play every single position on defense. Trent McDuffie can play on the boundary, he can play in the slots, slide him back to safety, he can play in the box. Trent is just an ultra versatile player, and the Ravens would love to have someone like that on their team. The only knock on Trent McDuffie is he is a little small at 5'11". However, he is just too talented to not succeed in the NFL, especially if he gets drafted to the Ravens, where they will play him to the best and make a star out of him. Kyle Hamilton goes at 15 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Kyle Hamilton has fallen pretty down boards all the way out of the top 10. The hype on Kyle Hamilton being the best safety prospect of all time has cooled off, and while I still think 15 is a very good spot for Kyle Hamilton, he probably won't be going top 5 or even top 10 anymore. Kyle Hamilton is going to be a good high safety that plays smart and makes good plays. While some people were disappointed by the combine that Kyle Hamilton had, He plays a lot faster than he ran. He's still a good safety prospect that has a lot of upside in the NFL. The New Orleans Saints select Jameson Williams at number 16. For me, this might be the easiest pick of the entire draft for me. Jameson Williams to be the Saints is a home run pick, and I think if this happens, it would literally be perfect for all parties. The Saints desperately need another weapon for Jameis Winston, and taking the best deep threat in the draft is perfect. Jameis Winston has an insane arm and is able to just chuck the ball down the field, and Jameson Williams is way faster than defensive backs, so he can just run right by them and get it. In my opinion, they should really consider taking Jameson Williams here at 16, because I think he would be a complete game changer on this New Orleans offense. At number 17, the Chargers take Devonte Wyatt. Devonte Wyatt is a monster, and while he might be a little overshadowed by his Georgia teammate Jordan Davis, Devonte Wyatt is easily on the top tier of defensive linemen with him. Devonte Wyatt is a big guy with great lateral quickness and a very powerful punch off the snap. Chargers need an interior defensive lineman badly, and Devonte Wyatt very well could be the best one in this entire class. Devonte Wyatt will translate very well to the NFL with a high floor and would immediately be the best interior defensive lineman on this team. At number 18, the Philadelphia Eagles take a wide receiver, Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks has lost some hype, and I think that the reason is they just like better wide receivers over him, which is completely fair. However, Treylon Burks is a different breed of receiver. He's a huge guy who I believe showed up at the combine at like 240 pounds, which is huge. However, I do think that he will come down and play himself into shape, down to about 225, which is what he played at Arkansas. Eagles don't have a guy like Treylon Burks. I mean, a lot of teams don't. However, getting some variety for the Eagles is a must-need. Devontae Smith is awesome, but you can't have your whole offense rely on one guy. If you are able to get creative with Treylon Burks and use him to the best of his abilities, then he's going to be a phenomenal wide receiver in the NFL. Now here at number 19, the New Orleans Saints are going to draft offensive tackle Trevor Penning. Pretty simple pick here. I do think that 19 is super early for Trevor Penning. However, the Saints need a left tackle after losing Teron Armstead in the offseason. With who is on the board, I think Trevor Penning is probably the best tackle available. Penning is a gritty, tough tackle with good bend, speed, and strength. And while he might not have great technique right now, he is talented enough to sneak into the first round with a tackle-needy team like the Saints. At number 20, the Steelers select Daxton Hill, the defensive back. This is a pick that I haven't seen that much in a mock draft, but the more I think about Daxton Hill going to the Steelers, the more I like it. Well, I know the Steelers just re-signed Terrell Edmunds to a one-year contract, but that is by no means long-term, and until then you can rotate Daxton Hill all around your defense. He's probably the best nickel safety in this entire class, and a really solid safety as well. Daxton Hill is a guy that everyone loves, so that's why I have him going here at 20. The Patriots take guard Zion Johnson at 21. Zion Johnson is one of the other big risers from the Senior Bowl. After looking like the best offensive lineman there, he rises up into like a top 27 lock. The Patriots just traded their guard Shaq Mason for a reason that they claimed to clear up cap space, which is a little confusing. However, taking an easy guard replacement in Zion Johnson, who does offer versatility, being able to slide him into center makes a ton of sense. The Green Bay Packers select the wide receiver Chris Olave out of Ohio State at number 22. Chris Olave falls to the Packers, and it takes him about 15 seconds to get the pick to the podium. If you guys don't know, I am a Packers fan, and if we don't take a wide receiver in the first round, I'm literally going to lose my mind. Chris Olave is a loose, fluid route runner who excels in creating separation, which the Packers do not have a lot of right now. Chris Olave also has great tracking of the football, being able to make tough catches, having a really large catch radius. Now I'm just going to kind of name some names that I would consider here for the Packers that I would be happy with, that could realistically happen. I'd be happy with Jameson Williams. I think that's best case scenario is Jameson Williams falls to 22. Treylon Burks, I'd be super happy with. And then George Pickens, just because the Packers are most likely going to take him, because they love George Pickens. And for them, Sky Moore, however, 21 is a little rich for him, or 22 is a little rich for him. But at 28 with their second first-round pick, I could very well see us taking Sky Moore at that spot. Again, there are a lot of options the Packers could go with, so let's just hope that they don't mess it up. At 23, the Arizona Cardinals take edge rusher George Karlaftis. Cardinals get their Chandler Jones replacement, taking the edge Karlaftis. I think that Karlaftis is a underrated prospect that some people aren't super high on, that I am. Karlaftis is really strong as well as having really good hands. He's the definition of a gritty, tough player that always goes the extra mile and gives 100% every single play. He can set the edge really well and is a solid run defender. I like Karlaftis a lot, and I think 23 is a pretty good spot for him. At 24, the Cowboys select guard Kenyon Green. The Cowboys get a mauling guard to replace Connor Williams. Kenyon Green is going to bully the defense and give the Cowboys a brand new building piece on that offensive line. I don't have a ton to say about this. Great run blocking guard to a team that could really use him. At 25, the Bills select cornerback Kaiir Elam out of Florida. No, I'm not taking a running back here for the Bills. As good as Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall are, I think they need a cornerback more. Kaiir Elam has perfect size for the position, so there are no problems there. He has solid balance and is also a really solid in contested catches. Bills need a cornerback outside of their star defensive back Tre'Davious White, and with the situation going on where their safety Jordan Poyer, they could use help in the secondary. At 26, the first linebacker off the board goes to the Titans, Devin Lloyd. It is super hard to find spots in the first round for these awesome linebacker prospects, so I wanted to make sure I snuck one in here at 26 to a team that could honestly just really use a linebacker. Right now you have Zach Cunningham and David Long starting at inside linebacker, and while it's not horrible, if you added Devin Lloyd to the defense, it would make such a huge difference. Devin Lloyd is a huge person who just seems to always make the right play, and I think that this would help out Tennessee's defense big time. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select cornerback Andrew Booth Jr. at 27. The Buccaneers had a ton of injuries at cornerback last season after having at one point all three of their starters injured. It was really awful, so they take a replacement here. As well, some of those guys won't be on the team next year, so they need a long-term solution at cornerback. Andrew Booth Jr. could be their number one corner, locking up the offense's best wide receiver. Andrew Booth is a quick, twitchy corner that has excellent ball skills and has the ability to make big plays in the league. At 28, the Green Bay Packers double up on wide receiver, this time going George Pickens. Yeah, the Packers double up on wide receiver, and it seems pretty obvious that the Packers are going to try and get George Pickens. They probably will even take him at 22. He fits what they want to do. They fits what they want in a wideout. Just a big guy that can block and go up and high point the football. That's not all he does by any means. However, the Packers do like him because of his toughness and blocking ability. He could easily be the best receiver in this draft. However, a lot of teams don't even have him on their draft boards due to, quotes, red flags. People say that he has maturity issues and has had a lot of medical issues in the past. However, I have come to terms with him being in green and gold next season. So I just gonna try to enjoy it while I can. The Chiefs take a wide receiver, this time going Christian Watson at 29. The Chiefs need a Tyreek Hill replacement, and Christian Watson is not really that at all. However, he's a really solid receiver. Christian Watson is a player who was not really well known for a while, and then the Senior Bowl came around and he dominated everybody. Christian Watson is a big threat who has the perfect blend between size, speed, and length. He has surprisingly good separation for a guy his size. One of his biggest weaknesses, though, is that he does have a lot of concentration drops. However, if that gets coached up, he's going to have a really bright future with Patrick Mahomes. At number 30, the Kansas City Chiefs take cornerback Roger McCreary. Back-to-back picks for the Chiefs, this time going defense. Easy pick for the Chiefs. Roger McCreary is really underrated prospect who is being overlooked because he's a little smaller than most teams would like. However, his coverage makes up for it. He's great in press, being able to jab receivers and not let them get a really good release off the snap. Keep an eye out for Roger McCreary. I really like him. I think he's gonna be a good NFL cornerback. At 31, the Cincinnati Bengals take center Tyler Linderbaum. The best center in the draft goes to the Bengals. There has been a lot of worries about Tyler Linderbaum because he has, he's pretty light. After he weighed in at about 296 pounds, teams would really like if he put on a good, 10 to 15 pounds minimum. You can't play him at guard because he is too small. Tyler Linderbaum, he is a monster. There's a reason that he's a first-round pick. He's the best center prospect, and he had wrestling background, so he's just able to just bully the defense. If Tyler Linderbaum can put on some weight in the offseason, he's going to be, one of the better centers in the league. At 32, the Detroit Lions take Arnold Ebiketie. Final pick of all my mock drafts of this year, Arnold Ebiketie sneaks into the first round. Lions passed on an edge rusher at 2, so they make up for it, taking one at 32 here, taking a pro-ready edge rusher in Arnold Ebiketie. Arnold is a older prospect, so he does have to be more pro-ready than a guy like Boye Mafe, who you could also consider taking in this spot. However, Arnold has great hand technique, and overall, he's just a really skilled edge rusher. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you've watched a lot of these mock drafts and you've enjoyed them, subscribe, stick around. I got some post-draft content coming. Hope you enjoyed the video. See ya.